I mean, the first thing I look for is just energy, man. Just real exciting, fun, off the wall energy. Just outrageous, crazy, just ridiculous, just energy, you know, like, you know, because that's what we're around, and that's what everybody wants to be around, no matter where you are in your career. Everybody wants to be around that energy. Everybody wants to be around that fire, and it's, you know, it's not just the music. You are the music also. Like, for example, again with the our buddy Eric Hudson, who, you know, we see a lot of great successes before us out of East Orange, New Jersey. My first experience meeting him, you know, maybe like 5 or 6 years ago, before we became good friends, that was the most energy I saw. It's like I walked into his house, you know, I kept hearing about him, like everybody in New Jersey, yeah, you gotta meet this kid, Eric Hudson, you gotta meet this kid, Eric Hudson, he did flashing lights, da 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 da. At that point, I thought I was the hottest producer in New Jersey. You know, I'm like, no, I'm the hottest. I got a Windows 98. So I met him like 3 in the morning. My buddy was like, yo, we going to E House real quick. Chad took me over there. So we went to Eric's house. As soon as he opened the door, he just air drumming in the air. He just already excited. He just probably made 25,000 yesterday. He just having a blast. So I'm like, what's going on, man? He's like, oh, what's going on, man? I heard a lot about you. He hasn't heard anything about me. But he's like, yeah, I heard a lot about you. Man, you could come in and I can't wait to hear some of your stuff. But it's just that energy. You know what I mean? So it'll overwhelm you, like, oh, well, good to meet you too, bro. Oh, you know, we get some water. Because you just get so excited, because they just, what's up, man? Just that energy. So he was like, yeah, man, I'm just in here working on this joint. So he had to, you know, at his parents' house at the time, but they still had a nice house. Like, man, he had the nice studio set up with all the, you know, big boards and everything. So he's like, yeah, let me play this joint I'm doing right now. I think we're gonna send this to Jay. So he started playing the beat. First of all, the beat is hard. It's outrageous. The beat is crazy. And he just bopping all crazy too. I'd never seen nobody bop like this to their own music in real life. So I'm just sitting right next to him at the computer. He doesn't know me, you gotta remember too. He just right next to me, like, yeah, this gonna be for Jay-Z right here. And I'm just right here, just looking in his eyes, what's going on right now? Usually when people play their beats, they probably just, you know, smoking a cigarette. It's just super cool. You kind of just looking out the corner of your eye to see if the person you're playing it for is bobbing. To see if they like it. But with him, he just right in my face. I didn't have no choice to not like it. He just right there, like he just right there with you. I just had to like it. So but that energy, I remembered it forever. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, even though it was funny, it was new, it was fresh, it inspired me, because that's the same energy I have, you know, with dancing. So to see that, you know, music can have that same type of energy from somebody playing their beats from their computer, I'm like, man, I need to be around this every time I make. It changed the way I made beats. Like, I went home with a whole new fire when I went home. I'm just in the room, I went to Spencer's, got a little disco light, put it in the bedroom at my grandmother's house. It just put a whole new fire, and I think that when you have that type of energy, it goes into the music. Like, you got to think about it. When Michael Jackson and all these people were making songs, and real musicians were all in the room, and the guitarists and the real drummers and the horn players were there. So all of that energy Quincy Jones is put into just one 3-minute and 30-second song. Versus us now, we just go, we get the samples, everything is just digitalized. We don't get the real live, funky energy. So we have to do something to compensate for that, right? So at least when we create from the digital world, we should at least put that energy into it while we're creating, because we're already not, it's already, you know, plastic in the first place. Because there's your uncle's not in the studio. It's all on the computer. So, you know, you don't get that advantage if you know, bring an A&R or something like that to your studio to hear your music. So all you have is you and your bop and your crazy energy and looking them in the eyes and all of that. So that's the type of people we look for to work with, you know, people who have that type of energy. Because if you come into the studio and it's a session and you haven't met the person, and then they say, okay, so let me just play you what I've been working on, and they're quiet and they're shy, and they're not really saying anything to you, and you know, it just feels like an interview. It's just like you just threw two random people in the room, and it was just like, okay, make a smash. But to make a smash, you have to have that energy, that connection with the person. So how do you build that? Just by being, you got to be live. You have to be live in the studio because, you know, let's say you're in your lab or you're at a label and you got the A&Rs walking around in the hallway and you're in there working on a record and they hear everybody in there, woo, making noise, oh, run it back. Somebody's gonna walk in there, like, what's going on here? Like, I've seen it happen, it's happened to me. So somebody's gonna walk in the room. But, you know, if your whole career, you know, you just keep, every section is quiet, you know, it's not really, you know, that's cool if you're working on like a movie score or something like that. But if you trying to do these records for Katie and Usher and Miranda Lambert, whoever it is, you got to put energy into it because, you know, creatively, that's what gets the new, fresh ideas out, that energy, you know, when you're in the studio. And that's what I look for when working with new writers and new producers, just that fire, like, man, this dude is out of here. You know, when you see somebody just really into their stuff, you see that passion, you want to connect with that passion. That's what all the big acts are doing right now anyway, you know, like, Puffs and everybody like that. What are they doing? They're linking with everybody young, who's got the young, new, fresh energy, and they're just attaching themselves to that because you got to follow that. People want that energy. They need that fresh, new energy. So, you know, being a new producer is actually an advantage because you have a whole new, fresh energy that somebody can't wait to find you and say they discovered you and blew you up and you're the next big. That's what everybody wants to do. That's what every A&R wants to do. That's what every exec wants to do. Yeah, I found the next Timbaland. But so, well, what's the next Timbaland going to be like? Is he going to be like, yeah, so this is my 3 joints, it's not really mixed? Like, no, the next Timbaland, he's going to have all his joints mixed. They're going to be crazy. He's going to have, he or she is going to have that confidence. They're going to have that energy. So the energy is probably one of the most important things.